we are two very different people at different points in life. And people are like, how do you two connect? Why is your bond so strong? Because you obviously like each other as friends, and you're always supportive of each other. I said it's because we respect each other's differences. And like in the world we're living in now, nobody respects anybody anymore. It's almost like if you believe differently than me, you're my enemy. And I'm like, you and I butt heads on a lot of issues. But instead of going like this and, oh, I hate you because you believe differently than me, I go, ooh, yes, let's dig into that. Why do you believe that? And you've done the same thing to me. I'll say something online. You're like, cringe, call Jimmy. All right, what do you mean by this? And we have really good conversations about that. And I think that's brought us together even stronger every time we do that.
Yeah, and I crave that. I crave getting to know the why behind people believe what they believe, but oftentimes they don't know why they believe it. They just believe it because somebody told them to believe it, but that's a whole nother podcast. Um, but yes, this idea that we have to clash because we believe differently, I just think it's just flawed. You don't have to look the same, be the same gender, be the same age. Jimmy and I are like the perfect example of complete opposites on most things.
Yeah.
I think the only thing we really mesh like is the fact that we are willing to hear each other out. We are willing to understand that, hey, you believe differently than I believe. That doesn't make you bad. That doesn't make you wrong. That doesn't make anything bad there. It's just the fact you believe this way, I believe this way. Cool. But I want to know why. I love that. That's how we grow as human beings. We get to that deeper reason. I mean, literally, our podcast was born out of this idea that you believe one way, I believe one way, and we just keep going deeper of, hey, why do you believe that? And sometimes I have found personally when you get to that why and people are like, I wonder why, they actually don't believe what they believe. People,
Yeah, and I mean, you and I, like you said, have very different beliefs in a lot of ways, but in a lot of ways we have some similar. Like we bonded over keto. Keto and
mhm.
fat is how we met. Then we bonded over trauma. So we have that in common. Yours was a very different trauma than mine, but trauma's trauma. And so that really strongly, those two things just went, yep, we're going to be bonded. And then I started learning more about some other belief system. I learned your Enneagram. Oh my God. Like that's been such an eye opener and same for you to me. It's been such an eye opener to me because I have always in my whole life talked to people assuming they believed like I did, thought like I did, all the everything. And that's very common that people do that. They look at the world through only their eyes and nobody else's. And so when I would give you a compliment and you wouldn't return, I'd be like, what did I do wrong? What? Like it hurt. But then when I vocalized that to you, you're more deliberate in meeting me there. And even though it pains you to have to do that, and I do the same thing with various things with you when you need that time away. Oh, I can't talk. I get that now. Before that, just like, oh my God, I want to help. I'm your friend. Let me be there. But you've even let me in there quicker than you would have before. So sharing those beliefs of differences and respecting them actually brings you together because you both have an understanding of one another's side.
Yeah, I think it's the Enneagram Talk, episode 6. If you want to know more about that, that's episode 6. I think knowing your own Enneagram and knowing how you think, what your tendencies are, and then any relationship that you're in, knowing their Enneagram, knowing how they think and how they process things and see things on a completely different level is very helpful. So Jimmy was going through ours and the differences in ours, but I think about me and my husband. So I am when something happens that it sparks emotions of whatever kind, I like to draw.
No.
I like to draw. I like to pull away. Um,
Us.
I do. Like even if it's happy emotions, like I will straight face. I will pull away and really feel those, and that just drives my husband crazy because he's more like Jimmy. He's in the feel it right now. Let's get it out right now. If him and I have a little argument, I hate calling them arguments, like a disagreement or something like that. He wants to work it out right there. And I'm like, I need a minute. I'm going to need a minute. And so we've kind of butt heads over the years that we've been together in that aspect. But it's always cool because 10 years into our relationship, We understand. Brittany is the scheduled one. Brittany is the I need a plan. I need a 1, 2, 3 step. I need like 6 in advance what we doing. Whereas Jimmy's like, let's do it. Let's go. What are we doing? He's just like just spontaneous. That hurts me.
And it's wonderful because I think you need the schedulers in the world. I think you need the people that like to be on task and everything's written down and this time and this time and this time. I have always felt stress thinking about having at 8 o'clock, I'm doing this. At 8:10, I'm doing this. At 8:15, I'm doing this. I'm just like, no. Like, I have the ability within myself, and this probably frustrates you. I literally am inspired by the moment. And so the moment kind of I know the moment dictates where I go. Like, if I had a plan, and sometimes I plan in my head, it's not like I don't plan, but it's like if I have a plan and then I come across something else or some trigger in my head makes me go another direction, like with a post or something that I'm doing, I go the other direction. I don't stick to the plan. And like with podcasting, sometimes there'll be something hot out there. And I'm like, okay, well, let's get a guest on to talk about that, even though I had something else already allocated for that time because it's such a hot topic. So for me, the spontaneity is the spice of life, whereas that just drives you nuts.
Oh no, like, so I'm supposed to be going with my sister and my stepmom today. As of 6 o'clock last night, we didn't have a plan. We didn't know where we were going, when we were going. We didn't know. And I finally look at my sister and I'm going, your sister needs a plan.
Yes.
Please, I need something. Like, even if it's just tell me the stores we're going to and what time we're leaving. I need something. I'm going crazy over here.
So please tell me you're not one of those people, because I don't know the answer to this question. One of those people that when you go on vacation, everything is just ordered. Okay, thank God. Like, I was hoping they know. Like, a vacation's a different beast because like then you just like kind of go. But how does that not mess with your brain that wants order in that context?
I need to know when we're leaving. I need to know exactly where we're going. And if we're going to stop for food, we can find that along the way. That's okay for me. I need to know how long we're staying. I need like just a little bit, but within, hey, let's go explore. No, I'm fine on vacation just to walk around and have fun. But yeah, I need a little something, and I've learned through the years to be a little more relaxed and understand in the same topic of respecting other people's differences. I understand what I need as a person, but I also understand other people aren't like me, and so that was a big disconnect for me. I would say in my early 20s, I wanted everybody to be like me, because I thought that I was the best thing ever. Oh gosh. Ew. Ew. I know. Ew. 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 I thought.
Don't wish that on the world, that everybody needs to be like, I love you, but damn, if everybody was like Brittany, pow, 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 all day long.
Exactly. But in my early 20s, I had this thought that I do everything right and my way is the right way. And I think a lot of people still deal with that. Somewhere along the way, I was like, Brittany, you're stupid. That's not healthy. And I learned to respect that other people need other things. So Chris, my husband, he doesn't care. He doesn't need a plan. He's just like, let's just have a day. And I'm like, okay, I at least need bullet points. So we like start the day when we're having our coffee together. Okay, I need to know, are we going to any stores? Are we leaving the house? What time are we leaving the house? I need something. We don't have to plan every single moment, but I need something. And so, we're talking about this schedule versus spontaneity, but this is true in anything. When you have conversations with people that see things differently than you, find anywhere that you can just kind of meet. Even if that meet, I really, really, really hate the term agree to disagree. I hate it. It just irks me. I cannot stand it. I don't know why. I don't like to agree to disagree. I can agree that we're different, but disagreement just sounds so negative to me.
Yeah, I did a Jimmy rants on that phrase one time because it's like people think that's a good way to end the conversation. No, you're basically giving the middle finger to the other person. I don't respect your difference. So agree to disagree. No, why stop there? Like, if you and I agreed to disagree, the depth of our friendship would not be there. The depth of our conversations that we
Yeah.
can go one step deeper even more once we kind of come to terms with those disagreements. It's not just, well, you agree this way, you agree that way, and there's like this impasse. What we do is we go
Yeah.
one deeper and we say, all right, really curious, tell me why you believe that. Let's dig into that, rather than you're stupid, what a horrible thing to believe. And a lot of people go there at that point, and we wonder why there's such division.
There's uncomfortableness, and this kind of, I think we touched on this in a past episode, talking about vulnerability. In order to share, it's easy to say, I believe this. It requires vulnerability to tell people why you believe what you believe. And a lot of people don't have a solid base of why they believe what they
Nope.
believe. And so that's where it is. That's where the problem is they're just like, I believe this. And they have never asked themselves that inner question of, why? Why do I believe this? I went on a journey a couple years ago, which is why I am where I am, because I looked at everything. I told the story. I just threw it all out. I threw out everything that anybody had told me, taught me, and I learned it all again. And I'm still in the learning process with different things. I just plucked this one out. I'm like, okay, this is what I believed. Why do I believe that? Is it because somebody else told me? Is it because of society? Is it because I actually believe it? And sometimes I get to keep that belief. And now that I've uncovered the reason why, now I have a solid stance of, if somebody asks me why I believe what I believe, I have a solid stance on that. Politics, I used to be like, whatever. I believe this way because my grandparents did, because my mom did, because everybody around me did. I'm in the South, you guys can guess. And I really just uncovered that. And I was like, why do I believe this? And in the end, I got on this page that I was like, wow, I don't believe hardly any of this. And it was crazy to go on that path. And I definitely suggest everybody else take everything that you've ever said, I believe such and such. Why? There's the question. Why is the question? Why do I believe it? Okay, where did that come from? Why? And just keep going one step deeper with these thoughts to find what you actually believe. Perhaps if you know what you actually believe, you can have conversations with people.
Yeah, we're going to hit on that in a very soon episode coming up, guys. So look for that in the next few weeks of people influencing how you believe, and did you fall into that trap? Because both of us did, and now we're broken free from it, and it feels good being away from that. But you mentioned something in there about vulnerability, and just today on my stories on my Instagram page, I posted a quote about vulnerability is a love language. And when you are so real with somebody, so authentic with them, being willing to have your feelings hurt, if that's what's on the heart of the other person. You've said some stuff to me sometimes that I go, and I'm like, further thought, okay, yeah, I needed to hear that. And I was willing to. I didn't just, oh, you're stupid, Brittany. Oh, that's horrible, Brittany. Why would you say that to me? No, I've said blunt things to you before, and you know when I go blunt with you and vice versa, it's in love, it's in respect, it's in honor of our friendship. It's not that I'm trying to tear you down. I'm trying to make you stronger by sharing what's on my heart.
I seem to have something in my throat. I was trying to not like cough.
I choked you up.
Oh, sorry.
So
Yes,
cough
exactly. I
button
mean,
for the podcast. We need a cough button for the podcast.
exactly. Oh goodness. So anyway, yes, you've said things that have initially invoked that response, that emotional response of excuse me, what did you just say? What just happened? And that's another reason why I like to pull away, because that's a reaction that I get often. I haven't worked through that one enough, where that's not always my initial reaction.
Can we talk about when you get to that point, because you haven't triggered me near as much as I've triggered you. Can we talk about how we get through that? So I write something, you read it, you have the WTF moment, you write to me, hey, can we talk? And we'll get on the phone, walk through, because that's what we're trying to do on this show here today, is help people respect those differences of belief. And then like what happens, like when I start talking, you start to have more understanding. Oh, that's what you meant, but you read it from a different angle. Let's talk about that a little.